Market Pulse and Tech Byte, December 21st, edition. Markets just snapped a 4-day losing streak while the rupee bounced back hard. Big tech is getting a reality check on AI spending. Here's everything you need to know about today's trading action. Let me hit you with Friday's closing numbers on the trading floor. Sensex closed at 84,929 points, up 447 points for the day. Nifty finished at 25,966, gaining 151 points and breaking its losing streak. The biggest winners on Dalal Street today? Bharat Electronics surged 2.4%, leading the defense sector higher. Power Grid jumped 2.25%, while Reliance added 1.3% to the gains. But technology stocks faced selling pressure across the board. HCL Tech dropped 1.3% as IT services remained under pressure. Banking stocks were mixed with Kotak and ICICI both slipping lower. The broader market showed incredible strength beyond the headline indices. Both mid-cap and small-cap indices surged 1.2% each with strong participation. Market breadth was bullish with 2 stocks advancing for every declining stock. 3 major catalysts drove this recovery in Indian equities. The rupee strengthened to 89.27 against the dollar, easing import concerns. Foreign institutional investors started buying again after consecutive selling sessions. Soft US inflation data raised hopes for more Federal Reserve rate cuts in 2026. Breaking news from the index front that affects millions of investors. IndiGo Airlines just joined the benchmark Sensex, replacing Tata Motors. BSE is doing a massive rejig with 32 stock additions and 32 deletions coming soon. The corporate story everyone's talking about on trading desks. Shriram Finance stock exploded 5% higher on Friday afternoon trading. MUFG Bank is acquiring a 20% stake for INR 39,618 crore in cash. That's a massive vote of confidence in Indian financial services companies. My top stock picks worth watching this week for momentum traders. ICICI Prudential AMC debuted with a 19% premium, showing strong investor appetite. Lenskart Solutions hit an all-time high, jumping 10% on huge trading volumes. Global markets, the Fed's hawkish cut. Wall Street showed strength on Friday with tech stocks leading the charge. S&P 500 gained 0.8% while Nasdaq jumped 1.3% on artificial intelligence optimism. AI stocks roared back on Oracle's ByteDance TikTok deal announcement. But here's the reality check that markets are still digesting carefully. The Federal Reserve cut interest rates on December 10 to the 3.75% range. However, the dot plot signals only one more rate cut coming in 2026. That's way less aggressive easing than Wall Street was hoping for earlier. Fed Chair Powell said, "We're well positioned to wait and see on future cuts." Consumer inflation remains elevated at 2.8%, above the Fed's 2% target. GDP growth projections were raised to 2.3% for 2026, showing economic strength. What does this hawkish Federal Reserve stance mean for Indian markets? Dollar strength persists when the Fed stays cautious, putting pressure on the rupee. Foreign investor flows become more volatile, affecting emerging market equities. But Indian IT stocks actually benefit from stronger dollar export revenues. Here's a valuation alert for long-term investors watching stock market bubbles. The S&P 500 is trading at 23 times forward earnings estimates today. That's way above the 25-year historical average of 16.3 times earnings. US stocks just posted 3 consecutive years of 20% plus annual returns. That pattern only happened once before, right before the dot-com crash. Mighty Technology Review just published the Great AI Hype Correction of 2025. Artificial intelligence progress isn't exponential anymore as the industry matures. We're hitting a maturity phase similar to smartphone innovation cycles today. 4 rapid-fire tech stories from Silicon Valley and global innovation hubs. Story 1 affects thousands of Indian tech professionals working abroad. Google and Apple warned employees on work visas not to travel internationally. Visa processing times are getting brutal with hundreds of embassy appointments cancelled. Story 2 comes from the incoming Trump administration's technology agenda. The new US Tech Force program is hiring 1,000 engineers and specialists. It's a 2-year federal program focused on AI implementation across agencies. Partners include Amazon, Apple, Google, Microsoft, Nvidia, and OpenAI together. Salaries range from $150,000 to $200,000 for these government technology roles. Story 3 is about an unlikely partnership brewing in Silicon Valley. Apple and Google might announce a formal AI partnership sometime in 2026. Wedbush predicts Apple will integrate Google's Gemini model into Siri's backend. That's while considering these companies have been rivals for 15 years. Story 4 shows how US chip export controls are reshaping global markets. China's Bairen Technology is preparing for a Hong Kong IPO next quarter. They're raising $300 million to build domestic alternatives to Nvidia's chips. Here's my what-if speculation about the AI industry's future direction. What if this AI plateau phase is actually good for business and investors? It means we shift from AI does magic to solving specific problems efficiently. Less hype and more substance is when real business value gets created. Quick recap of today's market action and tech developments worldwide. Indian markets bounced on Friday but face thin Christmas week liquidity ahead. Global markets are wrestling with the Federal Reserve's hawkish tone despite rate cuts. The tech sector is undergoing a healthy hype correction toward realistic expectations. My bold prediction for next week's trading sessions and portfolio strategy. If delayed US economic data comes in soft, a Santa rally could push Sensex toward 86,000. Here are your action items for the trading week ahead. IT stocks look attractive with continued dollar strength benefiting export revenues. Quality financials are getting foreign validation as seen with Shriram Finance. Stay defensive until we get clear direction from the Federal Reserve. Smash that like button if this decoded the week's market chaos. Subscribe for daily market edges and trading insights delivered every morning. Drop a comment below. Are you betting on IT stocks or financials this week? This is Jigar Patel saying stay sharp, stay ahead. See you tomorrow with more Market Pulse and Tech Bytes.